Weekend continues. As of this evening, we have the semi-finalists in 2002, but tonight we have a match-up between the two best performed teams in the competition. The Crusaders, unbeaten in 10 matches, against the second-placed Waratahs. And this could well be a dress rehearsal for the grand final in a couple of weeks' time. So next week, it's the Crusaders hosting the Highlanders here at Jade Stadium, and the Waratahs hosting the Brumbies in Sydney. But wonderful atmosphere here at Jade Stadium, and the crowd, I'm sure, buoyed by the fact that the Highlanders have got through. And John Drake, I think the Crusaders also will be looking to make a statement here tonight.
Oh, I think you're right. They won a great history here tonight by going through undefeated. The Blues did it a few years ago, of course, but they had a draw involved. Timed their run very well, used their bench very well. Robbie Dean's the coach of the Crusaders, got a lot of experience, has had the luxury of resting All Blacks and still winning. This team performs well under pressure. But the Waratahs, just seeing them, they've been the comers of this season. Not really rated before the competition started. Bob Dwyer, the master coach from Australia, has really worked some wonders. Brought in a lot of young players, and most of them have come off so far.
Yes, never previously been in the semi-finals in the 7 years of Super 12, the Waratahs, but they're right up there this year. And you can see the crowd in good heart. Capacity crowd too here at Jade Stadium. It's been sold out for weeks in anticipation of this match. And they know also that they'll be back here next Saturday night, the classic southern clash, if you like, between the Crusaders and the Highlanders, and then followed by the match from Sydney between the Waratahs and the Brumbies. So here come the Waratahs. Waratahs onto the field at Jade Stadium. Waratah coach Bob Dwyer has made any number of changes for tonight's game, safe in the knowledge that he'll be at home next week. Now here's a familiar figure, Des Tuiavi'i, played in the NPC for Southland last season, and tonight he steps in for the injured Phil Waugh. Big chances also for regular bench warmers Tom Bowman and Huia Edmonds. Speaking of Edmonds, elder brother Manny wears the number 10 in place of Duncan McRae, and he'll be looking to reclaim the top spot after coming off the bench for much of the season. Sam Harris has looked good lately with Nathan Gray out injured. Francis Cullimore, a former junior Kiwi Rugby League player, gets his chance on the wing. Matthew Burke, 58 test matches, world-class player. And now it's the Crusaders. Back at home for the first time for many weeks. The Crusaders are obviously very keen to keep this unbeaten record intact, and this is a forward pack of 8 All Blacks. Scott Robertson is back tonight after missing last week through injury, and also back is Richie McCaw, who set up the Hurricanes match. Greg Somerville returns to the starting lineup, sending another All Black, Dave Hewitt, to the bench. If you had to single out one outstanding player for the Crusaders this season, Aaron Major would be right in the frame. His strength and vision at second 5'8" has been superb, and of course he can also slot in at first 5'8". Leon McDonald returns to fullback tonight, and Nathan Major is in for the injured Mark Robinson. Reuben Thorne, the skipper. Jonathan Kaplan from South Africa is the referee here tonight. So it's all set up for a top-of-the-table clash between the Crusaders and the Waratahs. Greg Feek. And away we go with Andrew Mertens getting it up very high. Chris Whitaker has called for it and hands it off to Tawaki. Very nearly losing control of it. Referee playing advantage. And a good surge there by Tom Bowman. And now the advantage has gone to the Crusaders as Marshall feeds it off to Scott Robertson inside the 22. Powerful start by the All Black number 8 forward as Marshall delivers again for Richie McCaw, but all the blue jerseys arrive in a hurry, and Marshall again away for Aaron Major, back inside to brother Nathan as they move across to centre field. The Crusaders, they have real patience in their build-up as Chris Jack gets the pass, frees it up to Vuman Barker, who is a real danger man. As he showed against the Hurricanes, he can get across the line in the first couple of minutes. And back it comes for Matt Rogers to make the kick, but the referee was playing an advantage, and we're going to go to the scrum.
And a couple of errors early on from both sides. Here we see Vunambaka. Matty Edmonds just manages to dislodge the ball from him. Uncharacteristic errors. Both of these teams like to throw the ball around. They've actually got the characteristics at the top of the table. They actually get the ball very wide quickly from the ruck, and that's where they score most of their tries.
Smithy sideline tonight, perfect conditions.
Absolutely brilliant conditions, Nisbo. Hardly a breath of wind and underfoot, no problems at all.
Manny Edmonds comes up with a clean break. Now, who can he free up? He's going on his own, looking to go wide to the right wing side. And I suspect he made the wrong decision. There were players a lot closer he could have delivered to. But what a break from Manny Edmonds.
Well, he did all the hard work. It'll be interesting to see who he got through. I think it might have been Richie McCaw. Mertens really wasn't in the screen. Had players either side. Crusaders did pretty well actually to cut it off.
Crusaders now looking to clear it out from their 22. Don't often see them make mistakes in a defensive area as Somerville picks it up. If that was touched by Marshall, Somerville was offside. But nevertheless, Jonathan Kaplan saw it now. Here comes Caleb Ralph. Now the chase is on with Matt Rogers. Rogers did well. Down and up he gets. A lot more blue jerseys there, and they should be able to get out of this, the Waratahs. A wobbly old kick, but it's going to go into touch. No, it's not, in fact. It sits up for Leon McDonald, treading a very tight line down the sideline. Marshall to Mertens, way out into midfield. Oh, just about. The intercept, they're playing advantage. So here's Aaron Major. Vunambaka! And he grabs another one.
Well, that's the class of these two sides. There's Vunambaka. He's pretty happy. I thought the Waratahs had snuffed this try out with the attempted intercept. 9 times out of 10, that would have been it for the attacking side, but not this Crusaders outfit. Matt Burke nearly got away with it. Look at this, though. They just regroup. Look at the pace. We talked about Major before the game. Outstanding. Just a clear foot race for Vunambaka in the end. Gee, we're in for a big game tonight. Already both sides showing amazing skills. Matt Rogers, when he went back to pick up that ball, outstanding.
7 Super 12 tries this season. Now the leading try scorer for the Crusaders, Marika Vunambaka. Leon McDonald has got 6. Most of the backs have been in the action this season. But remember, he only came back 4 or 5 weeks ago after a long suspension.
Yes, but they've used him well, haven't they? He's a big man, pace.
Mertens' first kick of the night, and beautifully judged.
Well, there was a bit of talk before the game that maybe either side might try and muscle each other up, but I don't think by the looks of it we're going to see that. Both sides very keen to give the ball plenty of air. We're in for a spectacle tonight, I feel.
Nisbo, I just wonder how Manny Edmonds is feeling. That might have been a 14-point option. He took it the other end of the park.
Absolutely. The Waratahs should have scored first. No doubt about that. I think he had too long to think about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. He could have given the ball earlier too. Give it to someone with a bit more pace. Yeah, the Crusaders have done well. Jack's taken it up well.
Marshall to Mertens. Supporters there from Scott Robertson making a strong start to the match. Marshall plugs blindside. Lovely hands. McDonald is up in the line. Waratahs driving in low and hard. But it's there again. Marshall blindside. Ralph gave it back inside to Justin Marshall. They're a team that's playing with supreme confidence. The Crusaders is stabbed through. Here he comes again. Rogers having to get back. And a scramble for touch. And that was looking very likely to be number 2 for Marika Vunambaka.
Great start for Crusaders. They're just on fire at the moment. The ball's going wide, and Vunambaka's already been in the action, and he wasn't far away from number 2 already.
John Preston, our analyst tonight. Norm Maxwell. Referee plays the advantage. Waratahs probably grabbing Norm Maxwell before he came down. So let's see if they can turn this advantage into something. And they do through Greg Feet.
Well, that was an excellent try. Norm Maxwell, he was actually grabbed before he got back on the ground. He didn't like that. He said it was dangerous. Waratahs will be a bit worried. They're very good defensively all year in the Super 12. Conceded a couple of tries in no time at all. Here you can just see him. They've grabbed him back. He does very well to control the ball. Feet's at the front of the line out. Puts his head down. Look at it, and just swings round. You got forwards against backs on this drive. Sets Staniforth in there. And he's just going to muscle his way over. Good body position. Lack of depth from the Waratahs at the line-out time defensively. They should have regrouped. They didn't. It cost them.
Crusaders making another very strong start. Something they didn't do in the early stages of Super 12, but they picked it up in the last couple of weeks.
Yes, they were almost playing catch-up football every game. When they were playing in South Africa, it was Russian roulette.
Another brilliant conversion by Andrew Mertens. 2 converted tries to the Crusaders. Greg Feek gets the second, and it's 14-0.
That's the last thing Bob Dwyer wanted. Not just the points, it's the way that they're being conceded. The last thing he wants is a side to leave this city on a backward note.
Matthew Burke. Taken in by McCaw. Marshall for Mertens. Not putting it out. Holding back is David Lyons. Powerful runner. Just 21 years of age. Certainly belies his years. Haven't had much opportunity with the ball so far. The Waratahs as Whittaker off to Manny Edmonds. Here comes Matt Rogers, ghosting his way inside the 22. Terrific run, he's still got it. Now he finally goes down on a big tackle. And Whittaker trying to get it wide, but no real control there, and they've lost it forward, the Waratahs. But just an example there of the danger Matt Rogers presents. And he's been left on the deck too.
Oh, he did outstandingly well. Hit it very flat. Up against Somerville, scrags him off, and he's gone. He's got the ability, the upper body's kind of swerve. Just floats away from the tackle, sets the ball up well. He's been good on defence tonight. He's had to be. Not bad on attack either.
Well, we've got the chance, Drakey. Let's pay tribute to the Highlanders. Fantastic effort.
Oh, it was indeed on their home territory. They had to win, and they had to win well, and they did that up against a very good Red side who's really performed well all year. But the Highlanders had too much for them tonight.
Wait.
So we definitely know now it's a Trans-Tasman final in Super 12 as the Waratahs getting themselves into trouble here. They're just on their own 10-metre line, but they've got numbers back. Tuiavi'i up the middle he goes. Now Whittaker as they rearrange themselves. Partially charged. Trying to control it is Ralph. And the Crusaders back in possession for Justin Marshall. Tricky little flip between the legs. Wasn't knocked on. Good tackle made on Chris Jack. Now Nathan Major tidies up. Marshall floats it across. Vernon Barker looking to get on the outside of his man. Good tackle though by Francis Cullimore.
Advantage, both players going down.
Well, some pretty sloppy play from the Crusaders. Started with the Justin Marshall pass between the legs. Robbie Deans won't be too happy with that. And they didn't really have any go forward. They're all pretty static. Lucky to get away with the knock on. Chris Jack and co. They got the ball, but they weren't being moving forward.
Slow service from the base. Now Marshall, Mertens to Aaron Major. Running straight into Edmonds, Manny Edmonds that is. There's Chris Jack again. Marshall. Now they start to free up Aaron Major. Aaron Major! Now Caleb Ralph. Somehow they've managed to butcher this so far anyway, the Crusaders. They might still get a try as Greg Feek takes it back in. They should have converted it there and then. Now Mertens looking for a gap. Aaron Major runs into Tuiavi'i, but he's strong enough to burst out of the tackle. Marshall goes again. Got support from Scott Robertson. Marshall, easy.
Well, you're right in his bow. I thought they'd butchered it. Caleb Ralph, he had Richie McGaw on the outside, but then they had the patience. This is where it starts from. And just look at the Waratahs defence. It's very cramped. And this is where the Crusaders are so dangerous because they do go down the flanks. They back themselves. Yeah, they had the numbers, didn't do anything with it. But then it was just the patience from now on, the slow build-up, and in the end, the leg drive here was superb from Robertson, wasn't it? That really got them right over the advantage line. Too many players from the Waratahs committed. Easy try in the end for Marshall. Well, Smithy, you talked before about Bob Dwyer. Psychologically, if they get smacked over here tonight, you know, you can say that you can remember your losses, but it might just put the doubt in them this early in the game. They'll be wondering, what the hell are we doing here?
Well, Drakey, he denied for all money that he made changes for the sake of just saving players for the semi-final. He said, we're coming to Christchurch to win. But at the moment, it's backfired very badly. They're not even in the race.
3 converted tries, 21-0. Controlled again by the Crusaders. Half the problem here for the Waratahs, they can't get their hands on the ball.
I was just going to say, it's been the set pieces, kickoffs and line-outs where the Crusaders just been so accurate, creating so much space for these guys out the back.
Aaron Major makes the kick, and the Waratahs now do have the ball. See if they can do something with it. Harris heaves it out into centre field. Well read, though, by Caleb Ralph. Now it's Scott Staniforth. Ball's been stolen away, I suspect. Yes, it has. Player on his feet has taken it away, and now Chris Jack drives it over halfway. Marshall is using the blind side to good advantage tonight. Now he whips it wide to Mertens. Waratahs having to make a lot of tackles. Back to Mark Hammett it goes.
Again, the Waratahs defence is just getting sucked in. Crusaders getting over the advantage line straight up the middle, and that's really creating the spaces out wide.
Marshall, Mertens rips it across to Nathan Major. Great ability to recycle the ball, the Crusaders. Marshall goes again with Somerville. Now McCaw, Vernon Parker. And this time they do cut him down. But it was looking for all the money, like another try.
Just the confidence of the Crusaders to use the tram lines. I mean, the tram lines, just the 5 metres between the touchline and the infield. They've got the confidence. They'll put 2 or 3 players in there. They'll pass the ball, back the ball to beat the man, and it's working.
Nicely claimed by Tom Bowman. Now the big charge from Johnny Tuaki. As it's back for Edmonds. Had enough pace to get away, but then the kick wasn't too flash.
Yeah, no, the pressure's still on. Line out, Crusaders. Look at that territory. Say nothing much more. Yeah, well, it's all going to be one-way traffic on the stats at the moment. Waratahs have got to get their hands on the ball. They've just got to slow it down a bit. I think gets a bit of drive on. They're trying to do the 50-50 passes, turning over the ball, and the Crusaders are making them pay.
Mark Hammett. Great effort at the back by Maxwell to reach across and grab that. Now Mertens for Nathan Major. Robertson. Looks to be well and truly over the injury that has dogged him in the last couple of weeks. And in goes Caleb Ralph. 4 tries already. So for what it's worth, they have another bonus point.
And the secret of this try was Caleb Ralph just timing his run off McDonald. He did it so well. He created the space. Look, they're over the advantage line. Waratahs have got it covered. They've got the players, but he just ghosts in so well. Back against the forward. He's always going to score this one. Tom Bowman beat him clean.
And as may the bad news continues, because you'll notice who the last attempted tackler here is. It's Duncan McRae. He's on the park at first 5'8", replacement for Matt Rogers. He has ice on his right shoulder. Manny Edmonds has gone to fullback. So Bob Dwyer, it's a nightmare at the moment.
Thanks, Smithy. So Matt Rogers, after that run inside the 22, was heavily tackled. And obviously the shoulder is no good. Well, he's on fire tonight, Andrew Mertens. He's converted all 4 tries. And believe it or not, 28 points to 0. This is a bit of an embarrassment for the Waratahs.
Beautiful work from the Crusaders. And Andrew Mertens held the defenders, and then Caleb Ralph, it was, who came back on the line with a superb try.
Short kickoff, looking to change tactics somehow to get something going. Staniforth away for Burke.
Seven. Hold there. Hold.
Now Whitaker for McRae. Tuiavi'i.
5, hold there.
Looking for blindside play. Tuaki's he's run pretty powerfully. A few times he's had the ball so far. Turnover again. Crusaders can be dangerous from here, but that's not a great kick. And cleverly done by Manny Edmonds. He knew if he got his hands to it, there was a good chance he'd knock it on. Look at the red jerseys, though.
And driving in there, looking for the turnover.
Hold there, leave it blue. Blue 10, blue 10. No, leave it till...
I think they're going to get it too.
One ball not coming out. Lose it or lose it.
This guy, have a look at Chris Whitaker too. He's got problems. It looks like he grabbed at his left hamstring.
It only gets worse for the Waratahs. Yes, there he is. He's down on his haunches there.
It might just be a bit higher up. But I thought they'd started well, the Waratahs, from the kickoff. They'd actually turned the ball over.
Drakey, that's a hamstring stretch. You wouldn't know what that was.
Oh, I don't know. You could play a violin on my hamstrings, mate. So finely tuned.
Well, Bob Dwyer may well say to Chris Whitaker,
Justin Marshall would be such a damaging manager for the Crusaders, and he's got involved early on, making yards. He's got the platform to work from. He's causing the Waratahs a few problems. One of those dabs eventually led to a try.
Wait for the locks. Good.
Whitaker's still there.
Use it!
Robertson flicks it back. They can't control it, and the Waratahs just don't seem to be able to grab it. Now they get something going. McRae can be a dangerous runner.
Play on, knock back, play
Couldn't
on.
find David Lyons.
Play on.
Whitaker gets it again.
Leave it, red, hold. Hold there, last one.
They look a bit disjointed at the moment.
Andrew Merton's second tackle in a row. He's going for an award tonight.
David Lyons in the number 8 jersey.
Leave it right, 1.
Crusaders so strong, this close in defence. Now Edmonds, who made that great break early on, and who knows how the game would have panned out if he'd managed to convert that into a try. Now Whitaker, McRae gets it out into centre field.
Just down your feet, that's fine.
Bit of soccer skills there, enabling Burke to go for a bit of a run.
Okay, 2 leave, that's fine, that's fine, that's
Stolen, brilliantly done by Mark Hammett. So good at this phase of the game, the Crusaders. The man on his feet is able to scoop it up.
Play on, play on. Hold there, 8. Play on,
Still
ball
on the
out.
Crusaders' side. Now Mertens decides enough of this. Edmonds, this is pretty awkward stuff. And he couldn't do anything else in the end.
Well, he took the right option. But they're just so punishing in defence, the Crusaders. If you get isolated, they really take advantage. Matt Burke, you see, he's only got one player there in support. Hammett does absolutely the right thing. I don't know, Justin Marshall's service to Andrew Mertens has been a bit sloppy sometimes. A bit critical, I guess.
Reuben Thorne, the captain, reaching over. Crusaders 4 converted tries to 0. Just over halfway through the first spell. Now Marshall, oh, that's a funny little move. Tried to make the kick.
He didn't attempt to play it at all.
Now Whitaker, McRae gets it right out into centre field, and it breaks down. With Callamore not able to hang on. Well, he won't be too happy there, Bob Dwyer. Certainly made a lot of changes, but he wouldn't have anticipated this onslaught from the Crusaders.
I spoke to him before.
No, well, it's a psychological thing
all the way
which
here.
really gets to them.
Let's go, scrum red.
They've got the advantage at the wait time. It's pretty significant.
Let's go.
There hasn't been many scrums in the game, actually, a couple of early on, but apart from that, it's been pretty free-flowing. Kaplan's done well, played the advantage, communicated well with the players.
Good work by Chris Whitaker. Gets around to spoil it for the Crusaders. Vunabaka, who was in the scrum, believe it or not, has now disappeared back to the right wing side. Marshall, Mertens, back to Aaron Major. Here he goes again, and he sets it up as McDonald, and Caleb Ralph is in for his second, and it's just a well-oiled machine.
Well, another great try, but Waratahs' defence, first up tackle's pretty sloppy when Major makes the break through. Really, Bob Dwyer, he will not be pleased with this kind of stuff. Look at this, 1-2 out of a couple of tackles, well over the advantage line, and they're playing catch-up football after that. Staniforth has to come in. That allows Caleb Ralph a free run to the line. but it was the first up tackles here which really cost them.
Dead right, Drakey. Are they missing Nathan Gray or what, the Waratahs, when it comes to the business end of the competition? He's one man they needed in that midfield defence. The other thing to talk about too is that this starting 15 for the Crusaders, there's so much talent in front of me down on the bench down here. I think the starting 15 are trying to tell Robbie Deans they want to start next week.
Well, you've got competition in your squad, Smithy, and it really does pay off. It's healthy competition, isn't it?
Five converted tries, 35 points to 0, and the Crusaders are showing here tonight why they are the top of the championship table.
And that's really 2-on-1 defence, and that's where the try came. Really, the other defenders have got no show.
Just the ball.
Another short kick-off. Crusaders have it back, but this one's been lost. A rare mistake.
Just something for Robbie Deans and co to work on. Colin Cooper, the forward coach for the Crusaders. Chris Jack's been very good for the long kick or the deep kick over towards the sideline. Just seen the majors having to come in here and get these short kicks. I'll work on that during the week, I'm sure. Now they've got the weight advantage, the Waratahs. Just look at this. They get the hit on very well on this side feet. And look at that drive. In fact, if they hadn't have slipped over, it was going to be pretty messy for the Waratahs. Looking like a jellyfish in there at the moment.
Good. I think I made it back.
Greg Somerville back, premier tight head prop in New Zealand last year.
On his feet. First one was flying straight down.
Taken by Whittaker. Off to Lyons. Now Whittaker, who seems, well, he's not running that freely, but here's a clean break by Harris, finding Whittaker, and in turn he can't get the pass, it's dropped by Harris. Now the counter-attack coming. Crusaders with Caleb Ralph. What a great chase by David Lyons, showing tremendous speed. Caleb Ralph is quick. Now Vernon Barker. Supporters there from Jack. Offloading it to McCaw. From the 22.
I'll play on straight down and he was on sides.
Having a decent scramble for the ball here. And there was a knock on by the Crusaders.
On sides, on his feet.
Well, the Waratahs had a chance. Sam Harris dropped it.
Well, you can see the scrum right down the other end of the field, but they'll be happy with this. You play junior football, and there's a golden rule. If you make a mistake, you cover it up and you at least grab the hold of the ball so the opposition can't do that. The Waratahs guilty of that, and they're back in their own half. This is outstanding play. Forwards and backs involved.
So Matt Dunning is down.
This guy's just thinking you might struggle to convince anyone that just landed from Mars that this is first against second, wouldn't you?
You're right.
Crusaders are doing all sorts of damage and finding a lot of holes, and the cutback is working well off Andrew Mertens, who's just drifting across, feeding his inside runners. He's bringing the defence to him, finding the holes, and it's causing problems.
Well, look at that.
Play on.
Pops out on the Waratahs side.
That scrum's been smashed.
They really are in disarray here tonight. Whittaker. And the kick is made by McRae. Crusaders decide not to go quickly this time.
Well, there's something wrong at scrum time for the Waratahs. Just getting pulverised. I suspect it's Hammett and Somerville on the far side doing the damage. Huey Edmonds in for probably his first run-out game. He's saying thanks for coming at the moment.
Yes, it is his first game. Drakey, Brendan Cannon sitting on the bench.
Keep it up here.
Marshall now for Mertens. Aaron Major. Just look at the confidence in midfield here. Nathan Major takes it to halfway. Marshall is there. Mertens, oh, beautiful flick on Aaron Major. Trouble again. Marshall. Vernon Barker's lining up. Marshall can't find him yet. And in the end, they drop it down 5 metres out from the line.
Hold.
Whittaker getting back.
No, it's not. He's on his feet.
He has a grab at it.
Hold there. Get back,
Waratahs still have it, though.
Andrew.
Finally back to Matthew Burke. His kick is not out.
Advantage. 6 and 12 offside.
McDonald's chance out on the left wing side again for Caleb Ralph. Referee's playing advantage. Richie McCaw. Red jerseys there, and it really only required a pickup, and it was going to be a try.
Tackler. Tackler, you must release.
Well, we might be getting too picky here. Put Barker down. He took a knock when he was trying to get the ball off Marshall on the far side. I thought they'd actually butchered that try, but we're getting pretty critical, aren't they? 35 zip up.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that leads to penalty tries, okay?
And Drake, the ironical thing was that the whole thing stemmed from a backline move that went wrong, but they had the confidence and the patience to fix it.
Yeah, you're right, Smithy, because they were caught behind the advantage line, weren't they? And then they just wait, they're patient, they go. I just like the way they just keep on going down the blind side. That's where the gaps are coming.
They're going to wait for Barker, but he is sitting up.
Nisbo sort of had a bit of a feeling of a dress rehearsal this game before the start, and perhaps the psychological impact would be the key aspect. Crusaders certainly doing some damage in that department.
Yeah, we said beforehand, John, some team is going to make a statement here tonight. It's pretty obvious who's making the statement.
Well, what do you think, JP? I mean, if they have a good victory, and it looks like they're going to, will they get complacent during the week?
I can't see it, Drakey. I mean, they're a class outfit. They do things so well. I just couldn't see them drifting off.
Barker has taken his place back on the right wing side. Here's the big scrum. You don't often see pushover scrums these days. I reckon we might here.
Well, Mark Emmett, he just said, thank you very much for coming. Front rows love this stuff. Very hard to do in the modern game because scrums get wheeled and pushed and dragged back. And look at this, though. It starts to wheel, and then they just keep on shunting through. Well, the Waratahs scrum's gone at this stage. Robertson just had to control the ball, and he did that superbly. Look at that. Just about get a slide rule over the top of that scrum.
Well, this is just fantastic rugby by the Crusaders. In every aspect of the game, they've got the Blues, at least the Waratahs in blue, completely covered. 6 tries. Now let's see if he can make it 6 out of 6. And some of these conversions have been tough. What an exhibition of goal kicking this is. 42 points to 0. And we're not even at half-time. In fact, we're 10 minutes away from half-time, Drakey.
And I guess another problem for the Waratahs is they've got to play the Highlanders next week. Oh, sorry, no, they don't.
Brumbies, yeah. Well, that is a concern.
George Gregan will be pretty happy, won't he?
This is a bath. How can the Waratahs get out of this? Well, it's going from bad to worse. I must say, in a totally unbiased way, I'm just loving this, Drakey. This is brilliant.
Well, to be quite honest,
Sydney, but I don't care.
Well, I'm a pretty stout Aucklander, but you've got to take your hat off to this red and black mob.
It's only because you're a purist, Nisbo, and you like seeing good rugby. I'll admit it.
Well, I think this is a statement from New Zealand rugby, not just some of the Crusaders. And let's hope this carries on right through the season, and more importantly, right through next year, Smithy.
Wait there.
So here we go again. Mertens, McDonald's. They just can't stem the tide, the Waratahs. They're shell-shocked. Here's Norm Maxwell. There's advantage being played again, so the Crusaders know that they're going to get the ball back if things don't work out from here.
Get on sides.
Going back now for the penalty, the original penalty.
Diving in and slowing it down. Diving in and slowing
And I guess it's a test of the Crusaders too. That obviously they're playing brilliant rugby at the moment, but they've really got to keep the concentration level up. And I'm sure that's what Ruben Thorne will be drumming into them. They've set a standard already in this game. They've got to continue that. If it falls off, then all the hard work they've done psychologically just goes a wee bit.
Mark Hammett. Everything's going well. The line-out throws are good. Marshall taken down. McCaw is there. Now Aaron Major. Nathan Major. Caleb Roll comes up a metre short. Vernon Parker. You put pretty good money on them scoring again here. Crusaders, they're only a metre short. Marshall wants it back, but looks like it's been turned over. And the clearing kick is made, and they do get out of it for the moment anyway.
Yeah, it's just the ball's just slid out the side of the maul, away from Marshall. You can just see it just pops out the side there. That was enough. Marshall didn't like it.
I won't talk again. Next time it's against you.
There he goes, and Kaplan's just said, just keep quiet. Keep your discipline.
Crusaders again. Mertens. Aaron Major. Drags 2 or 3 with him again. Marshall stumbling away with it, but he's managed to regain it. Controlled though by Tom Bowman.
Hold there.
A man who'll have fond memories of Jade Stadium. Back in 1998, he scored that brilliant try for Australia. Things haven't worked out quite so well since, as the Crusaders come again. McDonald kicking for Ralph to run onto. Oh, it's done it again. Oh, goodness gracious. This is magic.
Well, the kick, we both thought it was Caleb Ralph. It was Major again, and he just slipped it back inside. The Ralph who gave it back. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you dream of. Just the ability to put the ball in space. Now, look, there's not a lot on here, really, at this stage. The kick and the angle. And so they're past the advantage line. There's still a lot of work to do. Look, 3 Waratahs players there. All went the wrong way.
Kick was made, in fact, by Leon McDonald. Look, he made a little signal first and said, it's coming out your way. Aaron Major got it. And then just pure instinct here from Caleb Ralph. He knew that Aaron Major was there. And that is almost arrogance from the Crusaders. And they're absolutely making a joke of this Waratahs side. Mertens going for 7 out of 7. 49 points to 0.
Well, what do you reckon, Smithy?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is before the game, this was the best atmosphere I've seen down at Jade Stadium, but they've basically been on their feet the whole time. The temporary seating is sold out. They're all wetting their whistles, I guess, for next weekend, but what a way to come back and what a way to spend the week looking forward to next weekend. But if they don't get a standing ovation after this 40 minutes of rugby, I'll go he.
They've still got 4 minutes to go. They might have 50 up before half-time.
Quicker than Astle, Nisbo, it's quicker than Astle on the same ground.
The same ground, yeah.
Well, it was a dangerous tackle at the kickoff and also a bit of back chat. That's why they got marched.
Here's a clean break again. Here's an opportunity. Mark Hammett, 10 metres out. Flicked on. Here's a try. Scott Robertson, they've got 50.
Robertson, he had a man outside him. Absolutely shocking defence for Major from the start. I mean, look at this. That's a joke. That's 3-4 players. That's disgusting. Hammett does well. He knew he wasn't going to get the whole way. But here, the piece of mind just to actually set it up. And the quick ball again. Look at that. Was that a great pass? I think that might have been from McDonald. But look at this defence. That's shocking. Just keeps on coming. It's a suicide tackle for the Waratahs. They didn't have any choice because the overlap was already made.
Scott Robertson is back. This try number 8 is scored. Now Andrew Mertens, already 7 conversions in the bag. This might be the toughest of all. Oh, unbelievable.
Well, 56 zip. Smithy, we talked before about keeping your feet on the ground. It's going to be pretty difficult for Robbie Deans.
This is a challenge for Robbie Deans more than anyone else, I guess. What could you say at practice? What could you say at half-time? Would you bother going down, Drakey?
Well, the cliches are going to come out, you know, one game at a time, all that stuff. But, boy, that's tough to take after this.
Well, Scott Robertson gave the Razor sign as he walked back to halfway. And did you see the look on David Lyon's face when he tried to make the last tackle? Beam me up, he said.
Here's Robertson. They might have to call this off at half-time. Here's Vinabaka. Kicked downfield by Aaron Major. Down for David Lyons. Tuiavi'i's lost it. Now here comes the red tide again. Anything could happen here. Robertson's in the gap. And here's another one.
Well, the Waratahs are calling a forward pass. Kaplan's having none of it.
Leon McDonald gets in the act. 9 tries 61-0. And we haven't got to half-time as yet.
Well, Waratahs took it in. Kravi coughed it up. That was the pass there which they moaned about. They stopped running, but they didn't even have to bother anyway. Just the gaps that are being created. The defence of the Waratahs is abysmal. But these guys, they're the showmen tonight. They're just finishing it off.
Well, the most points ever in a Super 12 match, 75. Crusaders against the Bulls a couple of years ago. And the Sharks against the Highlanders a couple of years ago. That was 75. At half-time, as we have another look.
They're on their feet in this vote. They're on their feet. Listen to this.
Just look at that ovation for the Crusaders. 63 points to 0 at half-time. And John Drake, in 30 seconds, sum it all up. But in the second half, they were out there already. And one would imagine that under the grandstand here at Jade Stadium, Bob Dwyer is laying down the law, because it's been a total embarrassment from the Waratahs' point of view. Been a gutless performance, really.
Well, they started so well, but the tackles they just fell off. It's absolutely terrible. And this, I guess, kind of sums it up. Been a clean shave tonight for Razor Robertson. This is the battle for Robbie Deans and the Crusaders coaching staff. They've got to keep this mental pressure on, because I'm sure the Waratahs, well, they can't be as bad in the second half as they were in the first, I'm sure.
So back come the Waratahs, and we're looking around for new numbers on the park. And Smithy can bring us up to date.
Nisbo, I think I can see Mark Servina out in jersey 22. But that appears to be the only change. Of course, McRae is on, and Edmonds is back at fullback for the injured Matt Rogers. So I just confirm that the Crusaders certainly are intact. And Bob Dwyer only got up to page 28 the notes before they said come out.
Yes, I bet he gave them a decent rev up. Man with a great coaching record. And he'll be embarrassed. Such a focused outfit, the Crusaders. They'll just carry on. Robbie Deans will have said, forget about the first half, let's do it again.
Yeah, they start from 0, and that'll be the test for them. If they turn around the second half, having lost on the scoreboard in the second half, I'll consider it a failure. And that's what the Waratahs have really got to do too. They've got to say, okay, we're starting this game again. Got to score points early.
So away we go. Second half at Jade Stadium as Matt Burke makes the kickoff. And a bit lax there from the Crusaders as they allowed Jono West to come through. And but there's been a knock on.
Just to tell you, Nisbo, Manny Edmonds is the player replaced. So in jersey 22, Servina is on for Manny Edmonds.
No locks, no locks, no locks.
Remembering, of course, that Matt Rogers went quite early. Here come the Crusaders. Marshall holds it up. Mertens turns it infield to McCaw.
Last line!
Still
Last
inside
line!
Crusaders territory. Marshall for Jack. He had a towering first half too, Chris Jack. Mertens. Well, breaks down
Advantage!
and knocked on by Aaron Major. So a bit of a sloppy start here to the second half by the Crusaders. Mistake from the kickoff and a knock on. Referee playing the advantage. And it doesn't look as though too much advantage coming here for the Waratahs, so it'll be back for the scrum.
Yeah, disappointing from the Crusaders. The kickoff was average. They built some good momentum up down the blind side and then just coughed it up. You've got to do the basics and start the way they did in the first half, just doing the basics, getting the go forward up front, getting over the advantage line, and then the gaps will come out wide.
Whitaker, better scrum too from the Waratahs. They got pushed around in the first half. Now here's a chance. Whitaker. An opportunity here inside the 22-metre line. And they've had precious few opportunities. Dunning charges up.
All the way, red 5, thank you.
Whitaker for McRae. Now Lyons.
All the way 2, thank you.
Much better start to the second half. Out wide for Burke. Referee's got the arm out advantage. Harris now. Short pass to Tawaki. Now Whitaker. Across to Tuiavi'i. He's hit pretty solidly. Still there. Not sure about the advantage. Whether it still applies. Now Whitaker. McRae. Dangerous when he goes. Tawaki. Needed a good tackle. Whitaker. And feet comes round offside. Again, advantage will apply.
Hold there.
Whitaker again. And Staniforth getting pretty close. And the ball knocked down and the penalty.
Just hold.
They strung together 10 phases there, Drakey. So that's a lot better.
Encouraging, and his captain's going to have a chat about the offside.
Just come here. We're there, number 6 doing it over there, so I'm going to give him the benefit. Don't do it again. There's no need for it, okay? Deliberate offsides and killing the ball in the red zone.
Whitaker takes it away to Tawaki. Big, powerful runner, but again, the tackling is secure. Offside again. In fact, knocked on.
The Crusaders got to be careful. There's Richie McCaw again. He's already warned him. And feet. Just the edge just doesn't seem to quite be there with the Crusaders. Probably understandable. This will be a test from the scrum time.
Is this red top? Yeah, he's going for it.
Whilst the Waratahs defence has been pretty awful tonight, there's been some superb skills from the Crusaders, from both Mertens and Major.
Hold, don't go. Good. At the back.
Here we go again with the Waratahs. They're looking to get him wide. Here's a chance for Callamore. And they've finally cracked it. So to put a positive spin on it, the Waratahs lead the second half.
And they've done very well too. It's a penalty, indirect penalty from the scrum. The defensive line of the Crusaders wasn't up flat enough. There was gaps appearing, and they just actually sliced through here. And I don't think the Crusaders will be too happy about this. You can see Major just going in, lack of communication.
Well, there's a new man out there, isn't it? Daryl Gibson. And, well, maybe he just wasn't tuned into it.
Yeah, he wasn't tuned in. He didn't have the pace. Callamore was always going to slice through. That's what the Waratahs wanted. Good start for the second half from them.
So Francis Callamore, the man who's only been playing rugby since 1997. Previous to that, a very good rugby league player, played for the junior Kiwis. And he's popped up on the other side of the Tasman. So many players do. Drakey?
Yeah, we were talking about it before. There's a handful of this Waratahs team. Got pretty good Kiwi connections.
Well, that might be a wake-up call for the Crusaders. Gibson, now Vernon Barker. Here is a chance for Nathan Major. And big defence on him.
Yeah, I think it was Burke. Excellent tackle. Major, he backed himself on the outside. Burke's too an experienced campaigner to let that happen on the outside. But it's worrying again for the spaces out wide that the Crusaders create. Look at this. There's Duncan McRae saying he's yours. Matty Burke doesn't let those go.
Now the ball is stolen away by the Crusaders.
Misplay changes going on down here for the Crusaders. You've obviously seen Gibson out there. That was a very quick change. And that was for Aaron Major, who has now got ice on his left thigh. Just a little precautionary there, but they're also going to make 2 changes in the front row. It appears that Corey Flynn will be on very shortly for Mark Hammett, and David Hewitt in jersey 17 on for Greg Feek.
I just think that might have been a head clash there between Norm Maxwell and Des Tuavii. Norm Maxwell, he's a tough character. Desi's pretty tough too, isn't he? He's been around the traps. Just a wee knock. I don't think there's much in it. Oh, really, neither of them involved must have come from somewhere else. Look at this, though, creating the space.
Well, he certainly pinned his ears back, Drakey, but the old fundamentals of the ball in the wrong hands, he couldn't fend the player, could he?
No, and I think he realised Burke was always going to take him ball and all.
Big Van Humphreys on in jersey 18 for Tom Bowman.
My call. Gone. When my call, just crouch and hold only. Good. Hold there, stay down 7.
Just slipped there, I think. Nothing on that. Corey Flynn on for the Crusaders. Dave Hewitt too on the other side. Not bad replacements, are they?
Well, no, exactly. And Robbie Deans has the luxury, of course, of keeping some of his senior players in store. Now here, right from the inside the line, is Callamore running it out. And in the finish, Whitaker kicks downfield down to Vernon Barker. And there's a knock on. Well, you wouldn't have expected, I guess, the Crusaders to keep up the rampaging form of the first half, but they'll be pretty disappointed the way things have panned out in the first 7 minutes of the second spell.
Yes, it's been the unforced errors which has cost him. Vunabaka, he knocked that on. He was under no pressure. At least he had the presence of mind to regain it. But that last scrum wasn't too bad from the Crusaders. Really put the heat on the Waratahs.
Right there, Scrummy!
Whitaker gets it away to McRae. Brave pass out into midfield, but it's been snapped up by Staniforth, but it's been knocked back. And they've still got the ball. Tawaki.
Hold there, 6.
Whitaker for David Lyons, who's been full of running tonight. Probably been the best of the Waratahs players.
Roll away, 3.
Tuiavi'i not afraid to take the opposition on either. Whitaker now. Tawaki as they surge up towards halfway. And when you're down by 63-5, why would you kick it away? Back with a bit of interest.
Wait. Okay.
Down for Duncan McRae. Much more offensive kick, but Marshall, with all the experience in the world now, could open up here. Caleb Ralph down the left wing side. And a regain. Fantastic.
Well, Nisbo, you named it. Duncan McRae, first kick, okay, maybe. Second kick, Justin Marshall takes it. Basketball pass almost to his outside. Caleb Ralph, he still had a lot of work to do, though. I thought he was actually going to chip infield for his supporting players. But he just puts it down the line, gets the bounce. Luck favours you when you take the chance. Look at this. Probably practices it every day at training, waiting for this opportunity. Says, thanks very much. Superb.
Third try tonight for Caleb Ralph. And another player putting his hand up, suggesting to John Mitchell that he's in the picture too. Now, Andrew Mertens. 10 out of 10. 70 points to 5.
2 more changes for the Crusaders. The skipper's getting a breather. Johnny Lea'u and jersey 19 on for Ruben Thorne. And big Norm Maxwell's having a spell as well. No respite for the Waratahs. Bradley Meeker, he's had a good Super 12, is on.
Just another indication, Smithy, of the enormous depth in this Crusaders squad.
Only matched by the smiles on the bench at the moment, Nisbo.
Yeah.
Well, Smithy, I think that's a good idea, actually. Thorne and Maxwell, crucial for their efforts next week. Get them off before they get injured.
Didn't go 10 metres. So the Crusaders have got a few options. They'll probably take scrum on halfway.
And clever play, too, from the Crusaders. They had the presence of mind just not to touch that ball. Of course, if you do touch it when it hasn't gone 10 metres, it's play on.
No, don't go. No, Blue, step back. Touch and hold first, half a second, and then. Hold. Good. At the back.
Justin Marshall takes it quickly. Away for Leon McDonald. Here's Marshall sniping again. Daryl Gibson. Vunabaka. Try number 11 tonight for the Crusaders.
Just when we thought they were getting flat, they come back and they score 2 tries in about 30 seconds. Just the communication, it's almost amazing the way that there's players not receiving the ball. They all know who's getting and who's not. The timing. Look at Marshall, he's involved a lot here. Starts it off, finishes it off, but just the way they straighten up the defence. And there's always space on the outside.
Vunabaka's in the action early on again, and some lovely sleight of hand at the early stages. Put him over for really, I mean, where is the defence? It's just getting totally embarrassing.
So 75, and if this kick goes over, it'll be a new point scoring record in Super 12, exceeding 75. Sharks Crusaders. Mertens has done it again. 11 straight conversions from Andrew Mertens. So the records are stacking up one after another. And this is just draw and pass. The old adage in rugby, the ball does the work and the speedsters score the tries.
2 more changes now. This time Bob Dwyer starting to empty the bench. Brendan Cannon on jersey 16 on for Huia Edmonds. Matt Bowman and jersey 17 for Matt Dunning. And I can tell you Daryl Gibson's gone straight off the bench to take over the captaincy for the Crusaders.
Right, so here we go again. Ball knocked on by Dunning. The referee waiting for advantage to the Crusaders, and they have controlled it in there. 77-5. Vunabaka. He's not got too many mates with him at this stage and has lost it. Been snapped up by Matt Bowman. Here's a charge from David Lyons. Boy, crikey, came from a long way back and he was flying. And he's still down there. No, he's picked himself up now.
Leave it, Jared.
Whitaker, here he comes again, Lyons. Well, he deserves a medal.
All out, play on.
He's the one guy playing with a bit of heart out there for the Waratahs. Good opportunity, though, for the bench players. Bob Dwyer will be disgusted with what's happened. Some of these blokes could make a name for themselves in the next 27 minutes, but they've turned it over, and there's a big line-up here. But Chris Jack spills it forward. Well, they would have scored for sure, even though it's only 22.
Yeah, sloppy from Somerville.
14 red.
Here's Bob. He's having a wee drink of water. I don't blame him. Been a long old night.
Vernon Barker, a crowd favourite. He's off. Plenty of talent coming on, though. Ben Blair in jersey 22.
He got a couple tonight, Vernon Barker.
Don't go early, please. Don't go early. Don't go early.
Well, Smithy, you had the privilege of watching that Nathan Astor innings on this very ground. But
I think a lot of the people here did this,
Put it down, put it down.
The privilege is, I can tell you, standing under this big new stand and listening to this atmosphere, that's a privilege.
yeah, absolutely. I wonder if Nathan Astor is here tonight. He probably is. Low key as always. Here goes Mertens. Very nearly got through. Now Justin Marshall.
All out, long time.
Everybody wants to get their hands on the ball. No shortage of players wanting to run on. Mertens with a rare kick. Enough fiddling around inside the 22, he says. So try this.
Oh, that's a great nudge too.
Matthew Burke. Well, he's got to try something, but it's not going to work out for him. Crusaders have it back.
Last line, yep, you're okay.
Corey Flynn's going to play halfback.
Advantage.
Now McDonald. Jack. Marshall's in the gap. And Caleb Ralph. No, he's got it back inside. And it's going to be Daryl Gibson who picks up the 12th try tonight for the Crusaders.
Well, Matty Burke, it was a long driving kick from Mertens which really turned him round. Matty Burke just went for the quick chip over the top. He had no one in support at all. Crusaders just snaffled it up. It was actually backs against forwards here. Marshall, great incision, that was enough. Look at the numbers, they're just queuing up. Waratahs defence comes across, it's just too late. Look at this, just the concentration, the communication, superb.
It's a Caleb Rell benefit tonight, isn't it? Just unbelievable stuff. It all started from Corey Flynn, who moved into scrum half. Beautiful hands. Daryl Gibson to finish it off.
Mertens trying to make it 12 out of 12. Yep.
More changes, Nisba. I can tell you, Justin Marshall has been given a breather, so the bench has been officially emptied. Ben Hurst on in jersey 20. And also, I've made a change to the Waratahs at halfback with, looks like Steve Talbot on in jersey 19. I have to confirm that might be Tim Clark.
Righto, Smithy. Well, the record book's being rewritten. 12 tries, that's the most by a team in Super 12. And, well, 25 minutes still to go. Crusaders happy to run it out from in front of their own goalposts. Scott Robertson using a bit of strength to wriggle out of a couple of tackles. Burke has read this very well. Now, the Waratahs, mistake from Tuaki, but it went backwards. Kick made by Staniforth, but really it's effectively giving the ball away again. Now they've got to worry about a try at the other end, which is on the cards. 15 out from the 22. Crusaders, whenever they get the ball in hand, they threaten to score a try.
Out of there.
Well, that's offside.
Oh, he's playing his own game. He's got sick of tackling, so he thought he'd just pick the ball up the back of the ruck.
Just listen to the crowd here at Jade Stadium.
Well, it's the old Canterbury chant, that one that used to hold Drakey in days gone by, but just before that they were singing 100, 100.
Ben Hurst, Mertens. Gibson. Into Waratahs territory they go. Now Mertens. And Burke having to tidy up. Well, it's amazing how fortunes change. Mertens has gone quickly. Hurst back for Mertens, intercept. Here's a chance. And the try is scored by Mark Stabina as the Crusaders look to launch from inside their own half, and they've given one away.
Well, it was always going to happen once they'd gone for the quick throw. They had the numbers, actually. They had a 4-on-2 overlap. I just like the way McDonald looked. He doesn't give up here. He was never going to beat him, but he keeps on going. You can just see the overlap here. Didn't go to Johnny Leo, and they're in trouble. Bit of an anticlimax, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, at least they've got double figures, the Waratahs. 84 points to 10.
Well, I can remember coming down here for a Ranfurly Shield Challenge. I think we turned around 9-6 at half time, and they beat us by about 100-6. Pretty embarrassing day for an Aucklander. I think this one might top it quite easily.
Conversion attempt is wide from Burke. Well, I can remember coming here for the first year of Super 12, Drakey, when the Crusaders were pretty awful. I think they finished last. You're lucky to get 5,000 at Lancaster Park, as it was called in those days. Very lucky to get 5,000.
Well, I don't know if there'll be any tickets for next week's game, but it's chocker tonight.
It'll be a classic next week, the Highlanders. They've got some injury worries, we saw that. Tony Brown didn't play for them tonight, and of course Anton Oliver and Byron Kelleher left the field, so there'll be concerns there. But I'll tell you something, Crusaders won't score 84 points next week.
Mark Wall, that side, Mark Wall.
Well, they haven't finished yet either. So
Listen.
19 odd minutes to go. 16 points away from the ton. That's only a couple of tries.
At the back.
Quickly taken by the Waratahs. Here's Lyons again. He wouldn't have done his reputation any harm. There's a knock on. Well, it's not ruled. He knocked it on and managed to get his boot to it.
No, stop playing it.
And the ball is turned over now. McDonald.
It's over. Right away, Blue.
Hurst. Here's the call from Mertens. Couldn't get there quickly enough, and he got it away to Ralph. And good solid defence by Sam Harris. Colin Cooper there on the left. Coach of Taranaki and the NPC. And obviously working in extremely well with Robbie Deans.
Oh, yeah, I can just imagine. Robbie Deans, he keeps things so close to his chest. You try and ask him a question about, you know, how they're going, and he always comes out that, oh, things are tough, but it's going to be a hard call for him after this game. This is Waratahs bench. I bet you Bob Dye wouldn't mind to have 22 out there.
Well, it's only because it's the hooker. That's the reason why I wasn't playing.
Well, is it a case of how good the Crusaders are or how bad the Waratahs are? Case of the dropsies.
Yes, they're a team without any confidence whatsoever, and they'll do very well to pick themselves up in the next 7 days before they face the Brumbies, who look very much to me, Drakey, as if they've come right back to form.
Oh, they sure have, and I think also the injuries, and we saw Matt Rogers go off early. He's been outstanding for them this year.
So the Waratahs now with the ball, looking to get something going out wide. Burke's pass is not good to Callamore. Still have it though. Clark clears it off to Tuiavi'i. Clark again, running into this very solid Crusaders defence. They haven't had to defend too much tonight, the Crusaders. McRae wide for Staniforth, looking for Callamore, the two starting wingers in the side.
Right away, Red!
Just edging their way up here, not making any significant breaks.
Yeah, Ronald, thank you.
Big defence, ball turned over. Here's trouble. They've only got about one defender here. It must be a try. And away goes Leon McDonald, looking for Caleb Ralph again. And he picks up his fourth tonight, the 13th try scored by the Crusaders.
The sole Waratahs defender, he took McDonald. McDonald showed a lot of pace to do what he did, and he had the presence of mind just to time the pass on the inside. There's lots of Crusaders waiting for it. There's smiles all round. Just the skills and the communication which they've shown tonight has been absolutely outstanding. I mean, the Waratahs attacked and attacked. Crusaders very patient in defence. But look at the defence comes across. He does very well, but look, there's just too many people. There's Andrew Mertens. He's even in the action, taking the fat man's track up the middle.
Well, he's got a little task of his own here. He has to try and make it 13 conversions in a row. $91 points to 10.
He's not human, is he, Mertens? I mean, some of the kicks have been from very tough positions, and he just hasn't looked like missing it all night.
Caleb Ralph again. I mean, they're just lining up to score this one. He happens to be the man on the spot. Try number 4.
Handshakes all round. Caleb Ralph, 4 tries. Chris Jack.
Stay on, get on, get on, get on.
15 minutes left in this absolute rout.
Use it!
And this is where it was built right from the beginning. The big boys up front, rumbling it on, creating the space out the back.
Hurst put under a bit of pressure.
Sides at the maul.
And referee Jonathan Kaplan says that the Waratahs are offside.
Enter from the side. Here's your mark.
Interesting to see what the option is here. Just go for touch, keep the pattern going. They've got a lot of new players on. I'll be just wanting them to get the feel of the set pieces as well. Get the line out rumbling up. Then the bonus has come out the back.
Right line.
Good opportunity for Corey Flynn here. Line out time. Bradley Meeker. He's developed well under the Crusaders regime down here.
All over.
Crusaders have it again. Mertens goes for a bit of a run.
Hold there.
Hurst has the ball knocked away.
Advantage.
Again playing advantage, Crusaders' way.
Guys, that guy's on his feet.
Hurst. Mertens in the gap. Here's a chance for Ben Blair. And he's in touch. Good defence that time. And I think it was Matthew Burke.
Yes, he came across. Mertens very incisive. Direct running. Spies the gap. Quite quick in his own right. Yeah, Burke always had him covered.
In or out. Don't join. If you're not part of it, don't join. If you're not part of it, don't join. Don't join.
Waratahs working well in that lineup. Clark. Back for McRae. Misses touch. Ralph hands it into McDonald. Anything could happen here. Blair across to Nathan Major. Calling in Gibson. Blair's got it back. Big defence that time by Cullimore. And it was played on the ground by the Crusaders. Yes, Ben Blair just held on a bit too long. Cullimore did very well. He was after the ball. He was on his feet.
Yeah, good driving tackle. Blair, he knows he's in trouble.
Now the Waratahs. Here comes Lyons again.
Leave it here, Red, no.
Handed away by Clark to McRae.
You're off your feet.
Now Harris. Right
Advantage.
Flick it out
Blue.
the back.
No, just a knock on. Leave it,
So
Red.
advantage here for the Waratahs. See if they can make something of it. To Aviti. Held on to by
All the way,
Robertson.
Red, yeah. Advantage over.
Advantage has gone. Mertens has stayed over there, and he's knocked it on too. So another advantage.
Ball out, one time.
Now Duncan McRae. Very good on his feet.
Play on.
Lions and West combining as they move it to the 22-metre line.
Get
Foreign
offside.
territory for the Waratahs tonight. Much better display of continuity here.
High tackle 16. Keep it down. You can play.
High tackle by Corey Flynn. Not back to 10 metres.
Well, they're getting closer.
How you can't go.
What do they do here? They go for touch. I don't think they'll pick back themselves at scrum time.
Well, that's an unusual approach. Went in feet first. We've seen that before. So Torva takes it in. Oh, getting very close. Not quite there. And yes, they are now. So they've got another try, and it's Des Tuiaviti who picks up the third one. And the Waratahs finally rewarded for some endeavour. They battled away hard, and they've got their third try.
Well, it was a couple of knock-ons from the Crusaders. That gave them the advantage from the penalty. Look at this. Sliding. That brings a new angle to the rugby game. Sliding through the defence. Really, the Crusaders were scattered by this stage. Almost lost interest. Tuiaviti hasn't given up all night.
They'll be setting themselves some targets here, the Crusaders. And I imagine, well, there aren't many targets left, Drakey, apart from the three figures.
Well, that's right. And I actually think, while they haven't scored quite as many points in the second half as the first, they'll be very pleased. The concentration level hasn't been too bad. Actually, it must be hard when you get that many points ahead up against what is supposed to be a quality team to keep your concentration.
Burke's conversion is good. So 91 points to 19.
And if you've just come in and turned the TV on at home, yes, that is the score. Unbelievable.
Mertens kicks out. Here go the Crusaders again. Fired up, no doubt, by conceding that try. Hurst for Gibson. Mertens back to Gibson. Good strength. Nathan Major. Here they go again. Leon McDonald. Now this will be a beauty. Andrew Mertens will be right on the sideline for this conversion. But that's try number 14 tonight for the Crusaders.
Well, didn't Daryl Gibson do well? One of the real senior pros in this Crusaders outfit. Does very well. Gets the ball from Mertens here. Gets the space, frees up the arms, and that's the try. She's all over there. But Ben Blair's even on the outside. You're absolutely right, Nisbo. What a test for Andrew Mertens. I think they're making it tough for him. You think they'd just go in a wee bit closer.
Yeah, well, this is a little game within a game, this, to see whether Andrew Mertens can keep this clean slate. 14 tries scored so far. He's converted 13 of them. Here he is. Real tough one, this. Oh dear. The sequence is broken.
Well, he is human after all. Or maybe he wanted to go in off. This Gibson does so well, gliding on the outside.
I think that's an illustration, Nisbo, that they are focused, the Crusaders. They're not letting up, because each time the Waratahs have scored, they have scored within 2 minutes of coming back.
And Waratahs slowing it down a bit, Smithy. I wonder why.
Yes, Drakey. Surely not.
100 points, very much within their sights now. Looking to get it out wide, where they've been almost unstoppable. Here they come. And this time Caleb Ralph drops it and knocks it on.
Waratahs will get the scrum. A lot of pressure. In the Crusaders just using the loose forwards out in the midfield, creating the overlap.
Line number 17. Put him in. Lay on, ball out, long time.
Waratahs with Harris having a run. Good too. Now he needs to link up. Couldn't find his man, breaks down. And it's snapped up by the Crusaders, who will look to run it out if they retain possession. No, they've lost it again. So it's back with the Waratahs.
And away.
Mertens in to make the tackle. Ball turned over. Lost forward, I think, by the Waratahs. No, they've got it back again. Another one, and that's definitely kicked out by a Crusaders player. It may well have happened the first time too.
I was going to say, I thought there must have been a sneaky hand in there. Happened too quickly, twice in a row. Might have been Corey Flynn in there. Kaplan's telling Crusaders to get back 10. Waratahs in a huddle.
Nisbo, I don't want to put any more gloom on the Waratahs camp, and especially those watching from Sydney, if they still are, but Duncan McRae has just walked past me limping quite badly, holding his right hip.
Doesn't get any better.
Hold there.
Well, I hope they've got some players to play the Brumbies next week.
So here they are trying to muscle the Crusaders. Remember that they've got 3 tries, so ironically they could end up with a bonus point here, but they've lost it. Now here comes McCaw bringing it out. Advantage still applies. And closed down this time by the Waratahs.
Gutsy stuff, Andrew Mertens.
Not willing to kick it. We've got 4 minutes to grab that extra try that'll take them over the 100 and completely annihilate this Waratahs outfit. Whoops. Caleb Ralph's got himself out on the right wing side. Now he's not going to force it, or he can avoid it. And it's going to be a 5-metre scrum.
Well, it's been like this since about the 15-minute mark, I guess, when they'd already got about 30 points. They had the confidence to try things. They've made their own luck. It's paid off. Just the ball skills. Very impressive.
Michael, please, just watch your angle.
Second half score is 33-19, which doesn't sound too bad from the Waratahs' point of view.
No, they could just... they watch the tape during the week, and I'm sure Bob Dwyer will have them watching the tape. They just get the first half.
Crouch and hold and Michael. Good. Pulling back, there. Yes. Pulling back, number 3.
Free kick taken by the Waratahs. A little dab by Tim Clark, the replacement halfback. Now the ball's out. Struggling to control it. Jono West.
And he's been turned.
He has. And Crusaders lining up to have a run. Now here they go. Daryl Gibson leading the charge. Blues, blue jersey straggling back. They've got themselves offside. Now here's the big chance for the Crusaders. They're going to take it quickly. Mertens heaves it out wide. Ben Blair. Now McDonald. McCaw. 10 metres out. They've got a century in their sights. Leo'o. Hurst now. Right into centre field. Lost the ball forward, and the referee plays advantage. He'll probably go back for the scrum. Yes, he will. And for the moment anyway, the opportunity lost. They've still got a minute and a half.
And the Waratahs just want to slow this down.
Putting back in engagement. Putting back in engagement. All the time.
They stop the clock. I think that's Cannon down. Waratahs' #1 hooker came on as replacement. Looks like he copped a bit of a head wound last week. He's saying, I've got a sore shoulder. He's an old campaigner. He'll just be not wanting to rush to this scrum.
Well, I said at the start of this game, Drakey, this could be a dress rehearsal for the grand final in 2 weeks, but the way the Waratahs have played tonight, much more likely that the Brumbies will be crossing the Tasman to play either the Crusaders or the Highlanders.
Well, you'd certainly think so, particularly with the injuries that were sustained tonight. They're pretty distraught, I'm sure.
Yes, at the back.
Penalty.
And again. No, shoot, get back.
Naughty word from Somerville, disagreeing with Kaplan. Referees always seem to win those verbal battles.
Release from your hands next time, please.
Tuiavii as the Waratahs keen to keep the ball going, even though time is pretty much up. Ball stripped away. Now there's a possibility of a turnover. And in fact, it will be a Crusader scrum. Maybe one last opportunity to achieve what I guess most people thought was impossible, to score 100 points in a Super 12 game.
Well, particularly with the defences early on in Super 12, defences were pretty flimsy. But really, it's been a battle of attrition for most of this Super 12 series. Not tonight.
Ball out.
Ball is out for Ben Hurst. Ball ripped away by one of the Waratahs players. And I think the siren has sounded. Yes, it has. The game is over. So they don't get the 100 points. But they've played the most sublime rugby here tonight. Have the Crusaders, raging hot favourites to win the Super 12, and they've certainly confirmed that by scoring 14 tries, 13 of them converted, and the victory is theirs by 96-19.
Outstanding match from the Crusaders, all 22 in the squad, coaching staff, everything they've worked out all year has come off tonight. They've got 2 more weeks of this competition to go. I'm sure they're going to go with a lot of confidence. Waratahs sustained a lot of injuries. They'll be shell-shocked after this. Bob Dwyer's got a lot of work to do with his team for next week.
Let's go sideline, Smithy.
Yeah, Reuben Thorne, you must be absolutely thrilled with that performance.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to say after a game like that. You know, it's just one of those nights, I guess, when everything went our way, and maybe they were already thinking of the semi-final.
Anything in terms of your preparation, anything different this week that sparked such an amazing performance?
No, I mean, we just carried on as we had all year. You know, we focused on these guys, put our homework into them, and came out and, you know, what can I say? You know, everything just fell into place.
Amazing atmosphere here tonight. You rewarded a record crowd.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see them here, and, you know, the guys put on a good performance for them, and, no, it was a pretty special night for us.
Wake up tomorrow morning, I guess it's back to square one though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, no, we'll keep our feet on the ground. We know we've got a real tough one coming up next week, and we'll worry about that tomorrow, but, yeah.
Reuben, we'll let you go. Go and thank the crowd. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, and you can guarantee they'll keep their feet on the ground. 14 tries, 8 players scored tries tonight.